let me show you how to create this very powerful and very beautiful yet very simple YouTube thumbnail using AI. So the very first step you need to take is to make sure that your thumbnail is not too messy and there shouldn't be too much going on. So for example, if we look at this first one, this one that I'm going to create in this video, we only have three things here, or two things basically. We have this logo about the product that this review video is about, and then we have an image of myself here. And that's it. But now if we take a look at the first thumbnail, or one of the first thumbnails that I ever created, we have way too much going on because people these days, they don't have the patience to try to figure out what the thumbnail says for like 15 seconds or something like that. So they're just going to scroll through if they see something like this. So actually, if I count these elements, we have like 16 or 17 different objects here if we count these words in. So that's way too much. You should usually have like 2 or 3 or up to 4. But yeah, that's something you need to pay attention to. So whether you're using AI or not, keep it simple. But nonetheless, let's move on to the next step, because the next thing we want to do is add a high quality image of yourself as your thumbnail, because this is, as you can see, this makes it look unique, and it also builds your brand awareness and brand reputation, because people are going to see these thumbnails on their YouTube feed and they will get to know you and they will familiarize themselves with your face because they see it all the time. So this is going to build your personal brand as well. And also, a thumbnail with your face is pretty unique because nobody else can do that. If I only had this logo here, that would be very boring, and that would probably be something that we have already like millions of examples before. So to make it stand out, you want to use your face. But the issue with this is that if I open up my camera roll on my iPhone and I drag one of these images into the view, the image quality is nowhere near what I wanted to accomplish. So this is the goal, and this is kind of the best case scenario. So this is actually taken with a professional camera. So this should be, in theory, a high quality image, but as you can see, it's not that great looking once you zoom in close enough. So here's what you need to do. Instead of hiring somebody for like $500 to $1,000 to take these close-up headshots like the one that you're seeing right here, you want to do it the way that people do it these days. So instead of using a photographer, you want to use AI. And this is the favorite tool of mine. So this is called the Multiverse AI. And this is an AI headshot generator. So basically what you want to do is you want to click on this, get your photos, and then all you need to do is upload a bunch of images of yourself in different lighting. You just follow this guide that is shown here and you'll be good to go. And once you have read the rules, you can just close this window. You can drag and drop your images here. You can even use the built-in cropping tool and then just fill in your details and click on upload images. And then after a while, you will receive these awesome AI generated headshots. So for example, here we have the Multiverse AI generated images of myself. So now if we actually compare this to one of my actual images, so this is a real image. So as you can see, this image looks very similar to the way I look. And that is not just these 3 images, but you're getting like hundreds of those, or at least 100. And heck, you can even customize these further. So you can actually use this kind of a prompt. For example, I have typed in upper torso shot of me smiling wearing a white shirt. So we have more of these images that look like me. So this is really cool. So instead of having to hire somebody to do this, I can just basically type in what I want to see, and the AI will place myself in that attire, in that scenario, in that lighting, in that scene, or whatever you want to do. Now, the next thing you want to do to create this kind of an awesome thumbnail is to head over to canva.com. And I will actually leave a link to this page in the description because this is the YouTube thumbnail creation section of the website. But this is a free tool that you can use. And just click on Start Designing a YouTube Thumbnail. And then it will open up a view like this. Now, the first thing you can do is you can drag and drop one of these AI generated images into the view. For example, this is one that I really like. So this looks good to me. And now the next thing you want to do is you obviously want to get rid of the background. So it doesn't look that appealing if you have like a random image here. There's simply too much going on. So you want to get rid of this. But thanks to the AI, you can also use the AI features to get rid of the background. So just click on this image, click on edit image, and then BG remover. And then after 3 seconds or so, you're going to see a perfect image of yourself without the background. And then you can also zoom it in a bit. And by the way, this BG remover is actually a paid feature. So if you don't have a paid plan to your Canva account, you can use a free tool that does exactly as good of a job. And that tool is called remove.bg. And I have also left a link to it in the description. So you can basically just drag and drop your image here. It will take for the AI a second to process. And once it's done, you have this image without the background. Then you can just download it and drag and drop it here into the Canva YouTube editor. So this is how simple it is. Now, one thing you want to make sure is that, well, sometimes these AI images are very close-up headshots, so you're actually missing body parts. So you would just want to zoom it in as close as you can so that it looks natural. So right now you can't really tell that I don't have my shoulders in place because I actually covered the tracks. So do it this way, and then if you zoom it in, you're also going to find out that the quality isn't 100% perfect. So what you can do then is click on this image, click on edit image, adjust, and then scroll below where it says sharpness. And then you can just scrub this as much as you need to make it sharper. And also you can tweak the clarity here. So although I wouldn't do it that much because that makes it like darker or having more contrast, but you can also do that one as well, depending on the image that you're using. So yeah, now we have this part all set. Then the next thing you want to do is you probably want to choose a different background. So you don't want to use this white. So we're going to do something like, for example, this that it suggests me. You can also use this add new color feature here to adjust the color even further. But for now, let's go with something dark like this. And then to make yourself shine, like literally, you want to add a gradient. And you can do this by clicking on elements and searching for gradient here. And then you can click on see all, and then you have all these different gradient options. And I like to use this one because you can actually change the color of this gradient as well. And now let's zoom this in, or let's make it bigger, much bigger, so that it covers basically the whole torso. And then I can place it somewhere over here, and then I can click on position, and then I can click backward. And now you can see that it looks like I have this really cool backlighting. But one thing I don't really like about it is that it's pretty bright. So I don't want the visitor or the viewer to pay attention to this. So what I can do is that I can actually make it a bit more transparent. So I can do something like 60%, so that now it's not that dominating color here. And speaking of colors, I can also change the color of this gradient as well. So for example, if I'm doing some kind of an AI review, I can use this kind of a purple or blue color, which makes it look really nice, in my opinion. And then we're almost there. So now what we want to do is we just want to add something here to fill in this space. So as I said before, you want to keep it very simple, but now that you only have an image of yourself here, that is not telling much for the audience. For example, now that I'm creating this YouTube thumbnail for a video where I review an application, I can actually drag and drop the logo of the application here. And very similar to what I did with my image, I can also remove the background with AI here as well, so that it looks a bit nicer. And now we're almost there. I can adjust this one as well, so I can make it a bit bigger. So that's pretty much it. And then one thing you want to do is you want to zoom out the view just a bit, because sometimes your YouTube videos will show as these small icons. So you want to make sure that the icon or the YouTube thumbnail still makes sense and is still clearly visible, even though the view is small like this. As you can see, it looks pretty good, even if we look at it from very far distance. Of course, you can also replace this logo with something else, whatever it is that is related to your video. So you can even do some text. For example, we could do something like, let's say best app, and we could place it, best app, we could place it here. We can make it a bit bigger. We can change the font as well. We can do italics. We can do some effects on it even if we want to. But the point here is that you want to keep it very basic and very simple. So I think this is perhaps the most that I would add to any one of my thumbnails. So you have an image of myself, you have some object here, and then you have 1 or 2 words. So this is still something that people can instantly realize what's going on. So I have this review where I'm questioning whether this is the best app or not, and then I'm smiling here on the right hand side because I'm reviewing the product. So this will tell the audience exactly what's going on.